Hey YouTube, I'm just checking in with you here. Kind of show you some of the things I've been unboxing. You know how to, I don't know whether to title this how to buy gold and silver below spot price, or investing in gold and silver and getting numismatic value free, or just simply advice on finding good deals on gold and silver. But what I wanted to do is give you a screenshot of what I kind of do during the portion of the day where I'm kind of shopping. I'm going to go here to a website I go to, which shows a list of auctions, and you can see that I closed some out, and these were because I was viewing many of these auctions here. There was items on there that I was looking for. At the top of this page, this is the HiBid website. You have HiBid for your state. You can look it up, or there's a general one. And what I do is go to the browse by, and I will go to auctions closing soon right here. And then there will be a search bar, and I will type in the word like silver or gold or coin, and what you will find is that all of the auctions within the next 24 hours that have that keyword listed in their title will come up, and you can search through there and kind of take a look and see, where are the good deals. So that's what I do. These I've closed out because the bidding has exceeded the price that I feel is a good price. But I'll give you an example. This particular auction is collectible coins and knives online. I went through and searched all these things. One of the things I found was a 3 Morgan silver dollars. There's no picture here, so you're taking a gamble. But I've looked at the other items in the auction, and they're pretty decent. Even if they're cull in quality, you've got a certain amount of silver there. And if you want to see what type of silver you have, you can price that out. I'll give you a for instance. There's 50 1955S silver Roosevelt dimes. Now, there may be some numismatic values, some really good uncirculated quality type of coins in this container. You don't get to see that. If you click on it, it pulls this up. It shows you there's a 6-bid history. There's 5 dimes. There's only one image here, and that's it. It's a roll. You know that they're silver and Roosevelt. That's the description, and they're all from 55S. So they could be in pretty tore up condition, but there's a good chance that there's some decent ones in there that might even, fetch a premium. If you're reselling, if you're just stacking and you're looking for some constitutional silver, this is a great way to go, in my opinion. So what you'll see here is the next bidding increment. These are going in $1 increments. So the high bid right now is at $49. I could bid 50. That will put with a buyer's premium of 15%. You hear me mention that when I'm unboxing. That's what this is. Each auction's a little different. Some are 10%, some are 20%. I usually calculate about, $10 in shipping unless I win a lot of items on a certain event. And then there's, maybe twice that. So it's up to $20. So, keep in mind, you got a minimum of about $10 in shipping. So if you're buying, only one item in an auction, that can be as much as the buyer's premium or more, just in shipping costs. So you got to price that in. Now, what I try to do is get 5 or 10 or 20 items at one particular auction, and if there's only one item I want, I'll bid really low on that particular auction to try to avoid high shipping costs jacking my price up. So what you see here is my maximum bid I'm willing to pay. It would be $50. Would give me a $57.50 price tag. Now, one of the things that you'll notice, that includes the 15% premium. So it's $50 times 15% is $57.50. Now, I get 50 1955 silver Roosevelt dimes. Now, what I'm looking for is melt value, right? Now, if I go up, you'll see I can go to $51. I can go to $52. Now, at $52, I'm at $59.80 US dollars. Now, back here, you'll notice I have a note. You can take notes on this, and I put 59.54 melt. The way I got that was I went over here to my Coinflation website, and you guys have seen me use this before. It has the drop down for countries, proof sets, really invaluable website and tool for stackers and coin hunters and people looking at melt values for anything. In this particular case, I'm going to a Roosevelt dime. I'm going to say there's 50 of them in a roll. Current spot price today shows you it's at $6.46. You can adjust that if you want to know what it would be if price went up or down. And then I submit, and it calculates for me. And it tells me that the current silver value in these coins at 90%, and it tells you why, and it tells you bid spread. I mean, it gives you a lot of details here, and it shows you some listings down below if you want to buy some of this stuff. But 59.54 is the spot price. So now what I do, and that was the Coinflation website. So what I'm going to do is go back and I type that in my note. So what I'll do, there's 2 hours left on this. I would go in here and say, you know, at $52, this looks like a pretty good deal. You know, because it's at or below the melt price of $59.80. Melt value is $59.50. So you're within a few pennies, but it got you really close, right? So I can go to 53, and then I'm going over melt value, and I want to avoid that. So in this particular case, I'm going to refresh my screen really quickly. That's the reason a lot of these were stacked. Because I had closed things out already. I'm like, oh, that's already exceeded my price. Now, in this case, you can see I'm even looking at some 14 karat scrap junk. This is like the same thing if you were going out and going to a garage sale or an auction, you'd find stuff at melt value. This particular gold bracelet is scrap, it says, so it's probably not working. It's marked 14K Israel. Now, you might get gypped because it might be junk. That is mismarked. It could be, fraudulently marked and it's not really gold. But typically a lot of these places will test it for gold quality because they don't want to put their buyers at risk of buying fake stuff. And you can see the damage over here on the side of the thing. But this is Israeli gold, 14K, and it's 3 WDT. So that's dime weight and or penny weight, I guess is what they call it. This is another website I use, which is a scrap gold melt value calculator. And you can see you can select grams, kilos, grains, penny weight, ounces, troy ounces, depending on how much you're buying. If you're buying troy pounds of gold, good on you. Anyway, penny weight here tells you the DWT, and they said that was 3. So I type that in, and I type in 14 karat, the gold purity it tells me, and current gold price today is $12.92 an ounce. Gives me gold value melt of $113. So that is absolute melt value. Now, for me, on jewelry, I know that if you take this into a pawn shop or a jeweler, they're only going to give you about, at best, 75 or 80% of that. You can get 90 a lot of times, but there's a discount for sure. So, I take my trusty calculator here and I just pull it over and I say, okay, at 113.07 times, like 70%, it would give me about $80. Typically what I'll do, that's what I could trade it for in a worst case scenario at today's spot at, kind of a jeweler or at a pawn shop. So what I'll do is I'll go 113. I want to have some profit built in times, 50 or 60%. So in this case, max, let's say 60 would be $67. I probably would go 50 on damaged item like this. So we got $56.50. So $56 or $57. As you can see, I put the melt value 112 and I put the melt at 56. Now I might go up just a little bit on this. I see the high bid right now is at 55. I could bid 60. It puts me at a 66 total value, which is a little more than 50. It's a little more than 60% actually of the value. If I take 112 times 112 times 0.6, it'd be $67. So actually just a bit under 60, between 50 and 60%, close to 60% of that value. So there's not a lot of room in there on resale, but it's way below the melt value of this scrap gold. So I'm looking at this as a good option. Now you can see here, I went on this one. This had $95 melt value. This was a ring, scrap ring with a couple of stones in it, so it's gonna weigh a little more. And then another scrap ring, not marked, but they tested it at least 14K. You have 1.7 plus that 0.8 in the other ring. So you have 2.5 total penny weight on this. So anyway, what you're going to find is, that this thing has a melt value. If you go back here on the scrap gold, 2.5 shows you a total 14 karat weight of 94. At the time I did this, yeah, so I rounded up. It's 95. So I would go about half that. So typically I'm going to go about $47.50. I bid this up to 25 just to see where it would go, or 27.50. Maybe it was the last bidding increment. No, it was in dollars. So I went up to 29, and somebody already had a 30 bid in there, so it popped to 30, and I just stopped right there to think about, hey, how much am I going to be buying? How much is shipping going to cost at this particular auction, right? So I look at this auction in Bloomington. I'm going to scroll down. Here's another item from Bloomington with $11 melt value. It's actually a coin, which is pretty marketable and resellable on, like eBay or whatever. So I probably make some money on that. Here's a $5 Eagle, 1 10th ounce gold coin. Just about, I can get it for just about spot. If you see here, I can get it for 132 spots at about 129. So for $3 over spot, and it's got this bezel around it. So I get the coin. Now there may be some scratching and damage to the reverse of the coin because it's been in this mount. But what you'll see is that this is 10 karat gold bezel with some diamonds. So I could take this thing and get 10 or 20 bucks for it at a pawn shop for sure. And that brings my cost down below the melt value of this 10th ounce gold Eagle. Great to add to the stack of the collection. Fractional gold, 94 US. So I will probably go 120 on this, and you can see that I just made my note there that that's what I plan to do. Here we go again. 2 rolls of Jefferson silver war nickels, 74 melt. There's a 64 bid. I can go up to 60. Well, it looks like the high bid has now jumped to 65. So now I'm above melt on these. So I'm going to pass. So what I do is just close those out because they've now gone up. There was a 64 bid. Now it's at 65. If I refresh the screen, what you're going to see, this takes a little bit to load and they calculate all the bids and stuff that have come in. But what you're going to find is, see, this is now at 65 and this has jumped to 50, which is still below melt, but I'm not going to go much above that 52 mark. So we'll see. I'll put the bid in. If I get outbid, it'll look like this. If I win the lot, I can go to the bid tab, see what my current bids are, and it'll show me what I've won or what I'm winning, that kind of a thing, and the prices. So I'm kind of editing this in as I go, listening to what I was saying, and then, figuring out what I might show you guys. I think there was, let's see where, here's these 3 silver Morgans. I mentioned I was going to do that. Sorry for the scroll, but $36. So I think, a fair deal on Morgans is a really fair deal. Actually, something that would, motivate me would be, about $15 each. I would pick up Morgans at $15 each all day. You can buy them on, kind of APMEX site, things like that for, 18, 17. They're $1, $2 over spot typically. They have a couple dollars under spot in silver content. I think they're 3/4 of an ounce, if I'm not mistaken. So, with spot at $16.50 right now, you've got price of silver spot, meaning, COMEX or NYMEX spot pricing for that particular commodity is, $16.50. So, if they have 75% silver in them, I think they're $12.37. So, a little bit of a premium for collectability, but not a whole heck of a lot, unless it's a really rare date or something like that. I know I can resell for good, but, I'll buy these at about $15. So, at $15 times 3 of these, even sight unseen, pretty much Morgans in junk shape, I'll pay 14 or 15 for. So, you're looking at $45. And so you can see that in my estimation, if I go up to $45 or $46, I can bid. I'm sorry, this is the wrong one. It's showing the picture of the nickels up here. That's a glitch, but anyway, you can trust that this is the lot number, and this is 3 Morgan silver dollars, and I would get, go up to like $40 on this. So I can confirm the bid here. It'll place the bid on these, and it'll tell me if somebody already has a higher bid than that because it'll outbid me. So let me just show you on this. I am willing to go for these kind of sight unseen at $15 each. So I'm going to go to a $40 bid. Actually might go to 40. Yeah, $40 bid. So let's see. I might even go to $16 each on these times 3 would be $48. But anyway, let's try 40 and just see what happens. So I'm going to go to 40 here. I'm going to confirm my bid. Now I've already registered. Now you can see I got outbid right here. My max was 40. I got outbid by 41 by somebody. So if I want to go up a little bit to like 48, like I was saying, that's $16 per coin. I can go, confirm bid at 42, and that'll be my max. Now somebody already has a bid higher than that. So they've set their maximum at, whatever they're willing to pay for these three. They've exceeded mine already. So I've made my max bid in here. My max was 42. I'm outbid at 43. There's an hour and 16 minutes left. The soft close means that, the closing time of the lot will be extended by 3 minutes if somebody bids within the last 3 minutes. So if I come back in here and bid 44, when there's only a minute left on this, it'll pop the bid and it'll reset the clock back 3 minutes. So that's kind of how that works if you want to watch these at the very end and just kind of try to snipe. That's what a lot of people do. They look and bid it up. But because of that, it's a very fair and efficient system as far as bidding and finding what the going market rate is on these things, because right at the end a lot of times that's what will happen. It'll bid up to the max value, and I don't get a lot of stuff at great deals, but I do get the one or two items occasionally that are great deals, and those are the ones that you're on here for. So there's that. You can see 59.50 melt on this. I've got a ton of Roosevelts right now, so I'm trying to determine whether I want to go up to melt. If I buy these, I would go up to melt on it. I'm just it's kind of a cost consideration thing for me. There's more of them down here, so maybe because of the shipping costs, I want to stay under melt with my bid, and then I figure if I pay a little bit over or right at it with shipping, then that would work. Give you an example here. So 3 Kennedy half dollars. I'm going to go here and figure out what 3 Kennedys are on the Coinflation website. Coinflation has these nice silver calculators that I've used over and over in my videos. So the 1964, I'll show you that there's 3 of them just to find out exactly what spot is. I mean, you can do the multiplication, but it's $17.86 for a 64 Kennedy half dollar that's 90% silver. So what I'm going to do is go back the tab to the Wild West Midwest Coin and Gun online, look at 3 1964 Kennedy silver halves, and these things at, what was it, 1786 are already going to be over. These are at $22, right? So way, even though a good, buyer's premium of only 10%, which is pretty much the lowest you find. Sometimes there's no buyer's premium. They do it for charities and things like that. So proceeds are going there and buyer's premiums are not charged. Most of the time, 10 is the lowest, 20, 25 is the highest. 15 is very average, 13, 18, would be on the lower or higher side of average. And 10 is, I feel like, kind of a good premium. I mean, the auction house has to make something for putting these things on. So, 10% is not bad, especially on, piecing together a bunch of little $20 items like this. You got to do a lot of auctions to make their money. So anyway, these 2 are out of my ballpark already. So I'm going to not pay over spot price on 64 Kennedy halves, and I'm going to close those out. Again, you got Engelhart bars here. I mean, these are pretty cool and collectible. You get a lot of people looking for these, and there's serial numbers on them. Some people look for specific serial numbers, right? So I know that like one of these might be an older bar because see, it has none of the Engelhart design on the back. And you can see if I expand this and zoom in, you can actually make out the serial numbers on this one here. You'll notice that, let me go back to that and zoom in again. You'll notice that there is a 17975. I mean, it's like a 5-digit serial with no letter in front of it. Now, I don't know what that means. It also says Engelhart Industries of Canada Limited. So this is probably a really old troy ounce Engelhart bar. That's what I'm guessing. Probably collectible for people that go for that. I do not buy bars for collectability. I mean, that would be a bullion or spot price for me for sure. So you've got 3 ounces of silver. As you see here today, silver is at $19.46 an ounce. So what I would do is I would say, $16.46 an ounce. So $16.46 times 3 has a melt value of $49.38. So what I'm going to do now is look at the melt value. They're way over that. You can see that this would put a $60 value, $67.85. So there's a huge premium on these. Somebody obviously probably noticed what I did, and they're a collector of these items. So you get these things bid up. I'd be willing to go $16.46 each, times 3. $49.38. divided by the buyer's premium here, my max bid is going to be about in the $45 range. They're already exceeding that, so I'm out of that one. The Morgan Silvers, same thing. I said before, my maximum's about 45 to 48 range. With the buyer's premium here, this one's already at 55. So what I'm doing is I'm just going through. I went in yesterday and added all these to my watch list. Okay, guys. So the first thing you're doing is you're adding these to your watch list, and then you're kind of getting, a timer set. So an hour or two before, you start going through and looking, where are the values, where are the bids? Because, this thing might have been at $10 yesterday, but it's not really indicative of where it's going to close until you get close up to the end of the auction. So this one's already beyond. Again, I'm going to get out of that one. Here's a California gold coin from 1855. It's a $20 coin. I don't know if they've, tested this. So you're taking a risk here on it says it's 90%. So you've got $20 gold, California. This is 1855. This would have been an interesting piece. I know back in the day on these California gold tokens, they were, Blake and Company. So I would probably go up here and just kind of ask Cortana, California Blake on eBay, $20 gold. So we're going to find out on eBay what this is all about. So it looks like it was a fake gold coin, and it was $20 for sale on here. Almost all of these, $20, fake. See, so there's none of them on there selling for like real gold value. So I can, just tell right away there's so many fakes out there. I would stay away from this coin in general. And likely it's bronze with some sort of, gold plating or something like that. And you can see people recognize that that's what it is. So if they want it for collectability, it's at $25. Personally, I do not. So I'm going to click out of that one. Here we go again with 3 Morgans. We can check the dates, but these things are well outside of the range that I'm willing to pay. If you want to pick up Morgans, if you buy them at $20 or $21, this is a great place to go because that is the range where a lot of these things will sell for. Now, here is just like the last one we saw, the 64. There's 3 of them. I will even check the dates and see if I can zoom in and see that they're all 64s. They say they are, but sometimes you just never know. So these are all 64s, you can see from the image. And what did we have as a melt? We had 1786, so I'm willing to go up to 1786, and we're already beyond that. So 1750 would be the bid, which means you pay the 10% premium on top of just about the melt value. So if you're buying some other things and you want to bring your shipping down and you're okay with a little bit of premium, then that would be an okay price to pay. But for me, I have enough of these things that I've got below spot or at spot that I'm not going to do it. I'm going to post this up and give you guys the secrets to my success and my, kind of my trade and what I do as far as where I'm buying gold and silver and how I'm finding below spot opportunities, sometimes way below spot, half spot. Sometimes you get things that are mismarked. I browse through these auctions all the time just because there's oftentimes a lot of coin buyers that'll drive the price up on, specifically gold, silver, coinage, things like that. But there's a lot of auctions on here that are like estate sales or, they're furniture auctions, and they happen to have a couple of lots of proof coins or something like that aren't even marked as coinage properly. I mean, sometimes there's even a mistyping and the keywords don't pick it up. And so if you look through these auctions, sometimes those things, the people are there to buy furniture, and so they're not getting bid on. And you can find things in there that are just a gem of a deal. And anyway,